now. And this one is coming to us from Mumbai. Now, in Colaba area in South Bombay in Mumbai, there is an Afghan church which is set to reopen after a 14 crore facelift. It's a church which is 165 years old, and after the construction, after the restoration, that is, the doors are finally going to be opened. The community there is really excited, and of course, we got your glimpse of the story behind it, which is extremely fascinating.
Over 200 years ago, the British government gave permission to build a church on the piece of land on almost the southern tip of Mumbai, on the condition that the steeple of this church should be visible to all the ships coming into the Mumbai harbour. This church, the Afghan church, has been built in memory of all those who lost their lives in the Afghan wars in the 19th century. 165 years after the completion of this Afghan church, today the church, which withered with time and which stands testimony to centuries of hard work, has been completely restored. Today let us take you on the tour of this restored Afghan church, which tells the history of the church, of the wars and of religion since 165 years.
A 210 feet tall bell tower, astounding 19th century stained glass windows, magnificent teak roof, a medieval Gothic masterpiece altar, 9 stone arches, the brass lectern standing tall since 1865. This neo-Gothic style church has been a landmark in the financial capital.
Everything around it has changed, but the church itself has remained the same. Everything, including the pews, the chairs, the furniture, everything is original, 160 years old. Nothing has changed, and it has been, and conservation has ensured that nothing has changed in the church.
Over the years, this church has withered with time. It wasn't just corrosion, but also vandalism that has caused damage. The moisture in a humid city like Mumbai is the enemy of stone structures. And when the restoration work began, teams realized that the dampness was wreaking havoc. An ingenious and sustainable solution was found.
Actually, there were a lot of rising dampness on the south side of the church. So to get arrested that, we have prepared a French drain everywhere along the plinth level. All the church wall boundary, there is a drain going on. Normally French drain is a kind of drain where you have a perforated pipe below the drain, and it is covered with all the pebbles and all the stones. So water gets collected there, and then it is transferred to the soak pit with the pipes, perforated pipes. And because of that, the water doesn't go inside the plinth and it doesn't rise. So the rising dampness is almost controlled with that.
In the last 20 years, this iconic structure has been restored to its past glory. The Gothic revival technique was used for this.
The stained glass windows, which are spectacular, and the bells. The 8 bells that are there in the bell tower is just, they are absolutely magnificent sounding, and we hope we can do further work. And the roof, I shouldn't forget that. It's a spectacular teak roof.
The defining feature of this church is the beautiful stained glass work done in Europe from 1850s to 1890s. That's why when you see it, you feel like you're transported to an old European city.
Stained glass is very integral to any chapel, church or a cathedral. Afghan church also is one such, where stained glass became a very, very intrinsic part of the structure that you see here. The stained glass windows were commissioned during the inception of the church. at the planning stage. The church has subscribed to the definition of a cathedral, where you see stained glass in every corner. So these are walls of glass, they are structural, and therefore they have a lot of meaning for the people who come here.
These windows reflect a cinematic portrayal of the Bible. The beauty of this church is such that even today, many want to come and get married here. In fact, it is also known as the Bride's Church, as traditionally the British soldiers would get married here.
It was actually called a poor man's Bible. It's not really true. It's any man's any person's place of solace.
Constructed over 165 years ago, the Afghan church continues to be a landmark even today. Now, after the restoration work is completed, the church is expected to be thrown open to the public sometime in the month of March 2024. With video journalist Vasant Kerekar, this is Vinaya Deshpande from Mumbai.